David Viscott, and welcome back. Some very interesting things coming up. Who's next?
Okay, we have Larry. He's on line 8, and he can't break a very bad habit.
Larry.
Yeah.
Hi, Larry.
Hi.
Can't break a bad habit? What's the habit?
I can't stop stealing from people I work for.
Ooh, stealing meaning?
Meaning cash or merchandise or whatever I get my hands on.
You're 29.
Yeah.
What is your history with this?
I've been doing it since as long as I can remember. Shoplifting, and then as soon as I started working when I was 13 from people I worked for.
What do you think it means?
I don't know. I was in therapy for a long time, and I never came to an answer.
When in your household, how well off was your family? How tight were they?
I grew up basically on welfare, and then my mother remarried and became affluent, and I moved out when I moved out when I was 18.
Okay, she became affluent when?
When I was about 13.
When it all started.
It started before then. I started working when I was 13.
Okay, but that's when you started stealing from employees.
Right.
Was she generous when she was affluent?
Not at all.
How was she?
Ebenezer Scrooge would be a good description.
Okay, and your feelings about that?
I dislike my mother intensely.
I gathered that, but your feelings about her parsimoniousness, her niggardliness, her cheapness.
Her and my stepfather were both that way, and I resented them both.
And what was that resentment like?
For lack of a better word, I hated them, but I don't know if that's the right word.
That's probably the right word. So you hated them, and when you felt hatred for them, how did that feel at 13?
It actually felt good.
Did it?
Yeah.
What did it make you do, that hatred?
Make me do things that were probably antisocial.
Such as?
Such as stealing.
Well, explain how you get to that. It felt good, the hatred, and yet it made you do antisocial things. How does a good feeling make you do bad things?
Because I was able to get what I wanted anyway.
Oh, in spite of them. You were going to show them.
Yeah.
So there's some showing of an authority figure in the stealing.
Okay. I'm not sure if that's right, because...
But that's what I hear. You're going to show them that even though you don't give it to me, I'll get it on my own.
That would be a fair assessment, yeah.
Right. Have you never heard that in all your years of therapy?
After 2.5 years, no.
That's interesting, because it seems to be an operant dynamic. I'll show you, I'll steal. That's an operant dynamic. It's like a driver.
If I didn't get what I want, I took it.
Right, because you're going to show them. Have you ever told them how you feel about them?
I haven't spoken with them in years.
Maybe it's time you told them how you felt in a letter.
Actually, I've been writing a letter. I just haven't sent it yet.
Why don't you read the letter to me without reading the letter? Dear Mom.
Dear Mom.
What happened to your dad, by the way?
My natural father is living, I believe, in Florida right now. I've not seen him since I was 4.
Why not?
I'm not sure if it has to do with him not wanting to see me, but I've never been able to see him.
Do you know where he is?
I think he's in Florida.
You want to try to find him?
I've talked with him twice on the phone. He said he would come to California, which is where I live, but he's not come.
How long ago was the last conversation?
About a year.
Keep on trying. You need to make contact with him. That's just the impulse I have. Go ahead. Tell me the letter. Dear Mom and Dad.
Dear Mom,
He's not Dad. Dear Mom...
The letter was addressed that I'm writing is to my mother specifically. It basically says, Dear Mom, these are the things you did to me as I'm growing up. I think they were wrong, and these are the things they've done to me. Why did you do them?
Okay, the letter is wrong.
Okay.
Because the letter does no one any good, and it only deepens the division between you, and it makes you seem like a crazy kid.
I feel crazy.
Of course. Because you're being manipulated by feelings from a distant past. That always makes you feel crazy. The letter should be to talk about your hurt. The anger that you feel will come out in the expression of the hurt. All you need to do is say that this is to list the hurt. For example, tell me what hurt. Name a hurt. I hurt when...
You abandoned me.
So what you need to say, as I grew up, I felt abandoned in the following ways. Don't make it accusatory. You're too accusatory. An accusatory letter is not going to help you come to forgiveness because your cure is in forgiving them.
Do I really need to do that?
Yes, or else you live your whole life full of self-punishment as a way of getting even with them. The object is to free them so you can free yourself from having to punish them through punishing yourself. You're perverted, right?
I feel that way because I feel like I wanted to punish myself.
In order to make them ashamed of you.
I've never felt that because I don't speak with them and they don't know what I've been doing.
I know, but the magic is still there, right?
Okay.
They can't point at you with pride. I mean, if you became a great, big, successful, whatever it is, what do?
I would probably flaunt it at them.
Well, no, you would think you would flaunt it at them, but you don't, because what you would do then would say, see, I became successful. I'm terrific. And in some way, you can be proud of your son. Even though you say, I did it without you, they're saying, see, that's proof that we didn't abuse you the way you claimed. Look how great you turned out. It was good for you. Right?
Yeah.
You never thought of that, but that's what's hooking you, got you all hooked in. You need there's an old saying, it says that adolescence is over when you can do what's right for you, even though it pleases your parents.
That's almost funny.
Well, beginner's luck, I guess.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do.
Am I making contact? Are you there? Hello?
I'm here. I'm listening.
All right. Are you listening? Are you paying attention?
Absolutely.
Your job is to become you, not to validate your hatred, not to be their enemy. Your job is to be you as a free person on free ground.
And that should stop me from doing what I've been doing?
That's the only thing that will, because what you're doing is punishing your parents for hating you. And for you hating them, you're punishing yourself.
I guess that makes sense.
What have you been doing in therapy for 2 years, please tell me?
Actually, I feel like I've made a lot of progress because when I first saw him, I was very depressed from a broken marriage, my first marriage.
Yeah, but what are you talking about stuff like this? This is the heart of your life.
It's never gone there. It's always dealt with my first marriage and my children.
Well, this is what's bugging you, because screwing up your marriage is also another extension of self-destructiveness.
I felt that way, but my therapist never pursued that.
Hey, it's your therapy. You take charge of it. You go to the places that you need to go. This is a good outline. You've got to rewrite this letter to your folks. But if you write it purely coming from anger, you're going to destroy yourself, because that's what your life has done, and it's done no good. You've got to come from the hurt. I was abandoned when you did the following thing. What else is in the letter?
A lot of it has to do with abandonment and abuse.
I felt abused and injured in the following circumstances. I suffered great hurt. I felt great disappointment. I felt a sense of loss. I felt a sense of unimportance. But bring it all back onto you. What you felt was your responsibility, even if they caused it. Your responsibility was to do something about it, and you did.
So I have to take ownership for it.
Yeah, what you did was wrong. You stole. It made you worse.
Absolutely, I agree.
And what you should have done was say, gosh, I feel so badly treated by what's going on here. This really hurts to be treated this way. You should have paraded your hurt. The correct move is always to display the emotion that the other person has created. Ouch, that really hurt, is what you should have said. Now you have to get back into the previous time by attaching yourself to the hurt that you have not fully taken responsibility for. Your cure lies therein. When you let go of the hurt, you will be forgiving them.
Even 20 years later?
Oh, well, you could postpone it to your 39.
Okay,
I mean,
point taken.
Point made, I think.
Yes.
Go ahead. You got one more question, and then I'm going to pull the shade on you.
Actually, I don't. Thank you very much.
All right. Talk to your therapist about what I said.
I will.
This stuff has to be part of that.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.